Hey, everybody. Welcome to Actoroke. Well, guess what? Normally during this time, we have our normal Actoroke events, but today we're here for a special. And joining us today is Markus Maes and Javion Smith. We like to call
Hi.
our three pillars of Actoroke. I, uh, I typically do the creative stuff, our direction and writing, and Javion is our talent. So he's the one he plays a role player. He's also one of our actors in two different series. And Markus, he's the one who keeps everything together, the glue. I like to say he's turning dials, flipping gadgets and levers, and keeping us
Definitely.
on the air. So how are you guys doing?
Excellent.
I'm yeah, I'm doing great. I'm sad that I couldn't be there, but I'm glad I get to help out a little bit from where I am.
And people are like, "Well, so what's going on here?" So Peter, our head honcho, and Sarah and Tanel, our artist, these guys all jumped on an airplane and went out to Wisconsin to go to GaryCon. And GaryCon, we're doing we're internally what we call a slam event. It's an inside information sort of thing. We don't, but a slam is exactly what it sounds like. We're getting slammed. Actoroke is a really fast paced entertainment medium where we start off as anybody who's followed us knows how it goes. We start off one week, we have a role playing game. And then after the role playing game, I go away for like 4 days and write a script. And then a week later, our actors get together and they record the whole script. And then after that, Peter goes into seclusion and he does mad editing for like 4 days straight. And he's adding in sound effects and music score and making all this crazy stuff going on. Recently, we've been adding matte paintings. Like, look behind me here. This is a matte painting from series two. And then a week later, we end up showing a film, and that whole process takes 3 weeks, and it's it's crazy fast. Like, I mean, it really is. We absolutely love it because uh, it's so fast paced. Anybody who's ever designed games, worked on games, been in TV, been in any sort of entertainment, it takes forever.
Mhm.
Sometimes a game or a movie takes years to get made. Like, no, we're turning it around right now,
Yeah.
plowing ahead.
Incredibly ambitious.
Oh yeah, and we don't have any time to breathe.
No,
And I'm sure everybody thinks we're just crazy, right? Well,
a
if
little
it
bit.
couldn't be
A
crazy
little bit.
crazy enough, what does Peter do? He's like, hey, you think we could do Actoroke during a convention? Just Peter loves conventions. He
Yeah.
people might not know,
Yeah.
but he owns this thing called Gen Con. And so he goes to a lot of cons. And this week he's at Gary Con. So anyway, he goes, you think we could do an Actoroke event, the whole thing from start to finish at a convention? And I'm like, well, we could try. What's the worst could happen, right? So anyway, so that's what we call a slam. So, for example, in Gary Con, we're 4 days. So the first thing Thursday morning at 8 o'clock, we have a role playing game. Peter's going to be running it. He's going to be the DM, and he's going to run this RPG in our Chaldea world. And then immediately upon that, I'm going to take that adventure and I'm going to convert it into a script over a day and a half. I don't have a lot of time. And then Friday night, hopefully, I have it where I can head it off to the actors, and then the actors get a chance to just briefly go through it. And then 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, Peter's going to put on his director's hat and he's going to bring in the actors at that point, and he's going to direct it. And then he's going to immediately go from directing it to doing mad editing so that he can show the film Sunday at noon.
Huh. I mean, I'm out of breath just listening to that. Like, that sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
But definitely the thing I've learned about Actoroke is the more exhausting it gets, kind of the more fun it is. So I don't know if it's the same for you because you have to sit down and write it. And this weekend you're going to sit down and write it, and Peter's going to sit down and edit it together into a film after directing people in one weekend. That's Actoroke Slam. I love this. I'm on board.
Of course, the nice thing that Javion, I mean, I can say it's nice. I mean, Javion's job is to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Are you going to do that
It's like
this weekend,
you're the role
Javion?
player, you've got to be entertaining, or you got to be the actor.
Yeah, I played both roles in
So,
Actoroke.
are you planning on being entertaining still, Javion?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna try to find a way, even though I can't actually be with the Actoroke folks. I got plenty of people to entertain right here in Minnesota.
Perfect.
So the thing that's interesting about the Actoroke Slam is that, well, during our normal games we play Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody knows Dungeons and Dragons as our go-to game, and so we play Dungeons and Dragons. Peter goes, well, we don't have a long time to play a long game at a convention. You have a role playing slot, right? Everybody who's been to a convention knows you got to get in and out. So Peter goes, well, we got to design a Chaldea RPG where we can run it super fast
Mm-hmm.
during our time slot. And so he got a hold of Jonathan Tweet. Yeah, that Jonathan Tweet. And said, here's what I need. I need an RPG that we could play in an hour. And so Jonathan Tweet went away and came up with this game. I'm not going to go into the game. Maybe we'll do a side video sometime and Peter can go into great detail of how the game. But basically, this whole game can be played in an hour. Every time you have some sort of a conflict, whether it be a political conflict or maybe it's a fight. The whole thing is every player gets to roll a die, and based on that one die roll determines what happens in that particular conflict. Hey, so Marcus, why don't you throw up one of the character sheets?
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a sense of what these look like.
Here they are. We have Armando up first.
Oh, well, it's funny. Armando, Gabriel's plays Armando, the actor. So what we do is the actors get into costume. We have them give us costumes. We take photos of them and we put them on their character sheet. Then this character sheet is actually handed to the role player. So the role player will take this and they go, oh, I know what I do. I look like Gabriel. He's a bard. Who knew Gabriel's playing a bard? And,
This is so exciting. Imagine.
Yeah. So anyway, this if you take a look at this, I'm not going. There's a lot of geeky detail here, but it basically tells you, you get a 1-page summary of your character and how you're going to play it, and then the result roll is at the bottom there. Anyway, the reason why I'm showing you this is we produce one of these for each of our 3 characters. We only have 3 characters in at the convention because we don't, we want a small party so we can get in and out of the adventure quick. So anyway, we have Armando and we have Maeve. And we also have who else do we have there?
We have Foley Harberton. Yeah,
that's our good friend Daryl Judd. Yes, we've Peter and I went to college with him way back in the late '70s, early '80s. We've been.
I gotta say, I'm jealous of that outfit he's got though. Like that, I wanna rock that. If I show up to GaryCon next year, I'm gonna cosplay Sir Foley Harberton.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
like the hat.
He does a good. He does a good. Yeah, he brings it.
So on the screen right now, we have Heinz and Master. What are these?
So these are the NPCs.
Oh.
The Master is an ogre he's an NPC ogre from our other Actoroke series, and so our we get a lot of people come back. I want to replay my character that I've played before, and so they dress up as in the costume, and we take photos of them. And so this will be a sheet that Peter will hand out to the players, and then so Peter will play them as an NPC during the game, but then when the time comes to film them on Saturday morning, the actors will show up and play their parts. So I'm drawing a blank here for I have it. So this particular adventure is called The Black Cat and the Hessen. So Daryl Judd is playing the Black Cat, and the Hessen is Patrick Keefe, and then David Baxter plays Master of the Ogre. If you ever come back, well, Javion, you played, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Augie, yeah, you played with Master the Ogre.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
If I played with Master, I don't know that. I vaguely remember some of the characters from the script that I was reading from, but the way Actoroke was back when I was doing the acting part as Augie, as an NPC, was I would get the script, but I would only do my parts, and it would just record my lines independently of everyone else's. We weren't in a big studio together like people are now. And then it would all get edited together in post.
Well, so when we first launched the idea of Actoroke was during the COVID lockdowns and everybody's at home living on Zoom, right? So Peter came up with this idea for Actoroke, well, years and years and years ago when he was out in the desert in Nevada somewhere doing fun things around campfires. Maybe people have gone to Nevada and done similar things out in the desert. Anyway, so Actoroke, it's sort of like, rather than singing, it's about actors playing parts. Anyway, so he's like, we should do Actoroke. We can do it via Zoom. So in the first series, we did everything via Zoom. We also have a small little film studio because, we do independent films on the side. And Peter's like, well, when the whole COVID thing's over, we should just go into the studio and use like real cameras and real green screens and real everything. And so we're heading that direction. And in series 2, we did go there and we are in the studio. We did have a little bit of a setback. The COVID thing flared up again. Our Omicron friend, or however you pronounce it, showed up. And so we're like, okay, we're back to Zoom for a while. But we're already planning for series 3. We're almost at the end of series 2 now. And series 3, we're going to be fully into the studio again. And everybody's going to be in costume and green screens and the whole bit. So anyway, now all the actors get to know each other and they get to actually play off of each other and interact as actors should. Mm-hmm. I've done a lot of voiceover work before, and typically voiceover actors just walk into a studio, put a headset on, and they never actually meet anybody. Yeah. Buzz Lightyear doesn't get to talk to, the cowboy, right? They probably never met, even though they're buddies.
Tim and Tom? They never met? Okay, so we also have, speaking of season 3, do you have anything you want to share with us about season 3?
Oh, we're moving to season 3.
Oh, we don't have to. You just brought it up, so I wanted to.
If you want to, we're planning season 3. We've got big plans. Season 3 starts in May 11th, through the summer. We're going to take a slight break during this thing called Gen Con. Every year Peter makes us stop. It's like it's a guaranteed vacation for me because I just know he's going to be at Gen Con every year. So anyway, it's going to be through the summer, and it's doing our normal time slot at Wednesday at 6.
Yeah, I'll put up the schedule.
Pacific.
The schedule is up.
There it is. 6 episodes. Now, recently, here's another interesting bit of news. People probably realize Chaldea Studios went into partnership with Gen Con. Wonder how that happened. And we're now producing Gen Con TV. So just recently, Actoroke is now being streamed on Gen Con TV. So now you can come to Gen Con TV for all your loving, speaking of, we have somebody here who also does another Gen Con show. Thought we'd briefly talk about Gen Con TV since that's our new home. Javion, what do you do at Gen Con TV?
Well, I am on a show called Table Takes with Peter Atkinson. You might know him. And the amazingly talented Bonsai Baby. And Noir Enigma, who's actually new as was a recurring host, but is now a permanent co-host with all the rest of us. And the 4 of us, we just talk about board game news every Friday.
So on Friday, we have Table Takes, and then following that, we end up having Sarah's Table with Sarah Moore. Oh, yeah. Sarah Moore happens to be DMing Actoroke this series, which is just brilliant. And we have other shows. We have the board games with the Brothers Murph on Monday. And on Tuesday, we have Kathy Paints with Kathy Wapple. She paints brilliantly. And Peter's a man that just won't stop. Won't stop. So can't really talk about it other than to say that we're doing it. There's a whole bunch of shows that we're going to be joining our lineup. Peter has this dream that we have original programming every night, 7 days a week, on Gen Con TV. These whole blocks of programming. Go, go, go. And right now we're right in the middle of it is Actoroke. By the way, this week, It's all Actoroke. Gen Con does a really nice newsletter every week they send out, and they put there's Gen Con TV schedule in there. And if you looked at this week's schedule, it's well, okay, we're here now doing this special talking about the Gary Con event. Well, tomorrow we have an 8 o'clock Gen Con on Gen Con TV. We have the 8 o'clock role playing game session.
Oh, actually, that will be on GaryCon TV at 8 a.m.
Well, it's also simulcast, is it not?
It will be hosted by Gen Con, but if you wanted to comment on it, you'll need to go to GaryCon Live.
Thank you for setting me
Very
straight there.
complicated.
And I think the same thing is true for for the other episodes as well. So the Actoroke Actor Studio when it's recorded, which is going to be Saturday morning at 8, and then also noon on Sunday where you can watch the film. So that's what we're here about. Is like, hey guys, guess what? Normally we would be showing you the actor studio with our actors, but we have this special Gary Con Slam event, and we hopefully everybody will want to show up and see you really on steroids and see if we crash and burn. I'm sure it'll be great. We have done this before, we know enough to be dangerous. We did Gen Con last year, and we also did Gamehole Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, you can't spell like Actoroke without the word danger. So I feel like it's going to work out pretty well. We're accustomed to it at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I have to tell you, I really enjoy working on it, but it's sort of like I'm a big fan of film, and you'll hear about a movie gets picked. Okay, so last year my favorite film was Dune. Everybody watched last year the new Dune film.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved it. It was great. It was amazing. But then I hear like, wait, they only filmed half the book. Like they literally just cliffhanger, sort of like the end of Empire. It's like what, huh? And so the other second half of the book, and they did, and then it came out that they didn't even sign a deal to even do the second half. It was just like this was a one and done thing. And I know there's a lot of internal politics going on in Hollywood over it and everything. Well, the reason why I bring this up is, well, Dune was spectacular. It was amazing, and it did huge numbers, and everybody loved it. And I mean, fans loved it, and critics loved it, and everybody loved it.
Yeah.
And so they immediately go, "Hey, we're going to do another film." They signed him up. Well, they already picked the dates the film was going to be released before it did any pre-production or anything. The reason why I bring that up is, as Peter is basically, you threw up the schedule, right? This is our schedule. Like, we know the schedule of everything, and it's not, we don't have like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sick today, or I'm sorry I didn't get the script done, or oh, I'm sorry, Augie can't show up to act. It's like, no.
We got hard deadlines.
Yeah.
We're going. That train is going, and anyway. I feel like I'm doing all the talking here. Sorry, guys.
Oh no, I listen. I'll jump in, and I will say this because it is confusing, but we want to make sure everyone can watch all of our Actoroke events. So I'm just going to run them down. So starting tomorrow, Thursday, March 24th at 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Central, the RPG session will be live on GaryCon Live's Twitch channel. Then on Saturday, the 26th of March at 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Central, we'll have the script reading, which will be live on Gen Con TV, right here, the new home of Actoroke. And then, here it gets even weirder, Sunday, for the movie night at noon Pacific time and 2 Central, we will be live again on GaryCon Live. So you can go and follow them there so you get up to date on all of the news at GaryCon. And if you have any questions about when the show is, we have a wonderful, wonderful website with information. You can also follow our World of Chaldea Twitter account. And there are my plugs.
Well, I'm going to do a plug. Let me read here.
Yeah.
So our players that'll be in the RPG session are Brian C.P. Steele. He's going to be role-playing the Black Cat. Derek W. White is going to be playing Armando. And Liz Bieneman is going to be playing Maeve. Now, the actors who playing the Black Cat is going to be Daryl Judd. Armando is going to be played by Gabriel Mondo Vega, and Maeve is going to be played by ours truly, Sarah Moore.
Oh, that is Sarah. I thought I recognized.
This is so interesting because they do have the actors are on the character sheets.
That's right.
I'm gonna move back over to the character sheets real quick and take a look.
Sarah is currently the GM of the series 2 that's going on right now. So that's very
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah, she played Maeve. I love these character sheets, by the way.
Yeah.
This is so fun.
Well, you get them and you know exactly what your character looks like, everything you get to do. I mean, I love the fact that, say, the thing about Actoroke is, I think is brilliant. It's typically, anybody who's played a role-playing game, you create your character. You've played long enough, you've created tons and tons of characters, and you typically own your character.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Actoroke, you own like 50% of it, right, JV? I mean, once you fill us in on that, because you've done both, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
I mean, I started out as playing an NPC who was just a guide, and I got the script and I just kind of reenacted it. But throughout all of the
As an
process,
actor,
right?
as the actor.
Yeah, as the actor. But like I was told by Peter mostly that I could interpret it however I kind of wanted to, and I didn't have the benefit of watching through all of the episodes before playing the character because I mean it was Peter, being an NPC, right? So what I did was I just had fun with it, and I played however I idealized the character to be. And then people liked it, and we did a series 2. And now I'm actually playing as a character. But even now, making all the choices and decisions about what Augie's going to say and what Augie's going to do, it doesn't really mean exactly what Bernard, the actor for Augie, now doesn't say. I don't know exactly what Bernard's going to do. I don't know how he's going to play the character, and it oftentimes ends up being a little bit different because I feel like that's one thing Peter loves about Actoroke so much is that you get a lot of different perspectives on the character, not just the player, but the script writer's take and the actor's take. So it goes through it like a little bit of like a mixing
Like
process.
layered in interpretations.
Yeah. Before it actually gets to the final product, which is the movie that comes out. So you get to see everybody's.
I never like to speak for Peter, but I can tell you that the one thing he loves is when, like what you just said, is that when the role player just owns it, and when it's the actor's turn, the actor can just own it.
Yeah.
In series 1, there was a couple of people like, well, that wasn't exactly, like the role player would say, that wasn't exactly my interpretation of, what in that scene or whatever. And, we weren't going to apologize. We're just like, well, that's Actoroke. Well, welcome to Actoroke. Like you own half the character, then you hand it off.
Right.
I mean, just like in Hollywood, you write a script, and I've written scripts. Once you hand it off to the producers and the director, you wash your hands of it. It's done. You're done. Yeah. Except in this case, you actually get to come back and redo it again. I don't know if Bernard watches. Still don't know if Bernard watches what you do in the role playing game. I mean, sure, some of the actors like to watch what the role players do, and some of them don't.
I don't think Bernard does. I think Bernard and I had the same kind of philosophy on it, where we kind of have fun with it in our own way, and we play off of the other characters as much as we can in the moment. Bernard has the benefit of getting to be in the same room with all of the people that he's acting with most of the time, and getting to actually react with them. But me personally, when I was doing it, I was just an NPC, and I had a couple of lines here and there, so it was a little bit different.
Well, Javion, I have to tell you. Okay, I'm sorry. This is a little bit of a secret. Peter absolutely loved your portrayal of Augie.
I've definitely
absolutely
heard that
loved it
a couple of times.
Well, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, because he comes to me after series 1 is over and he's like, I want series 2 to be Augie.
Yep.
Like he goes from being an NPC to being the party leader. That's the story. I'm like, I go, do we get to bring Javion back? Of course. And then he was like going, yeah, but this time around, he's going to be the role player. And I'm like, I had to wrap my head around that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, very weird.
So you actually do own Augie on both sides. You're like the only person who's like,
I've been on both sides.
Yeah, you are actually, like, I think that is the only time that's happened. Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I feel like how many series has Actoroke been through? I know that this is series 2, but I know there's the Actoroke Slam that happened at Gen Con.
Well, okay, so for complete series 2.
Okay, gotcha.
We did a play test. Peter's like, we're going to put that in the archives, and someday we'll pull it out and be embarrassed by it. So we sort of did it. We did it ourselves, and we just invited our friends and people to show up, and we didn't do the whole live on Twitch or anything. And then we've done a number of conventions, slams, and then now we're prepping for series 3. We already have you set aside to be recurring character. Augie's coming back in series 3.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Okay, great. I get to act as Augie.
We always need Augie. We just need more Augie. More Augie content.
More
we
Augie.
need Augie merch. We need Augie like beanies, Augie shoes, Augie cereal.
Yeah.
Well, another thing we wanted to do is, so Chaldea, we actually have a series of graphic novels and other films that we've done. If you go to worldofchaldea.com, you can see them. Our Actoroke RPG exists within that world. And anybody who knows our story and keeps up, because we also have novels and other things, all these characters are all the same. They all exist at the same time. The politics, the world things that are going on. There's this sort of a larger story going on. Mm-hmm. There are NPCs that are in our larger story that have actually come into Actoroke, and they're going to be leaving. And there's a lot of dotted lines and hooks to all of our stories. And so what we did was Peter created this place in one of our called Graver's Dig, and all of our Actoroke series are based there. Part of the reason why we did that is because we wanted to create a silo of assets that we could continue to use over and over and over again, including NPCs, PCs that would be recurring and come back. Peter has a plan. I might be letting something out here. Peter has a plan that he's going to do a Christmas special with the party from series what? I might have just put my foot in my mouth. I didn't know to do that.
I remember we were talking about this, and everyone was very excited. I don't know if we can say it, but we just said it, so now I think it has to happen.
Well, I know he's told them before he wants to do it. He was telling me this Christmas I want to do it, and so it'd be a one-off Actoroke thing where the characters come back and we do some. We're gonna do the Star Wars special.
Oh, yeah.
It'll probably be
not how Actoroke stole Christmas.
Anyway, I have no idea what that'll tell. But
what's the Chaldea's equivalent to Light Day?
Light Day? You mean Life Day?
Right? Oh, Life Day. Was it Life Day?
It was Life Day.
I thought it was Light Day. We're just going to reenact the Star Wars Christmas special. How about that,
It's
Javion?
sad, but I could probably almost do it. Except I'm not doing the singing and with all the...
Look at Jefferson Starship in here.
The 70s lighting effects. We could get Augie to do that. Do you sing? Hey, do you sing?
That'd be interesting. Do I sing?
We could have stop motion. We're going to do a day of stop motion. We're going to do it entirely stop motion. We have 24 hours. Steve, you have to write the script. We're going to stop motion the RP, all animate it. It won't be good, but we're going to make it work.
Actually, I just wanted to chime in for a second here. Yeah. I think one of the first ideas me and my friends in high school had when we started playing D&D was that we were going to have we're gonna hire an animator or hire somebody on YouTube. I don't know why we thought we were gonna be able to do this, to just animate the stuff that we'd played in D&D. And for us, that was like a pipe dream, right? But I have to imagine that for most people, how exciting is it to just play D&D and have other people create something out of it for you, so that it's like a journal. It's like a log of all the D&D that you play.
Yeah.
And I love playing with Sarah so much, and all of the other cast. I mean, don't get me started on all of my favorite moments from the series, but I get to relive them not just in the video of us playing, but through a realization of us actually playing it, people taking on our roles and then casting the spells and fighting the monsters. That is just a dream come true to me.
I'm glad you brought that point up. So when we did this, I said that impassionately to Peter. I said, listen, when anybody plays a role-playing game, it's theater of the mind, right? All this is going on in your mind, and you picture, what a $500 million Marvel budget, right? You're doing all this cool stuff, the heroic poses and throwing the big spells and cracking planets in half or whatever it is you're doing. And, and you also dream about, wouldn't it be cool? Like when I was back in college, we would go through a magazine, it'd be I'd clip out some stud picture out of Sports Illustrated and say, okay, this is my character, right? Never dreamed of being able to have an artist illustrate my character. By the way, one of the big parts, I'm embarrassed I didn't mention this earlier, Tennille Lovett is our illustrator, and during our shows, she does live illustrations
Incredible.
of the actual adventure, and we just give her complete freedom to do whatever she wants. It's brilliant. I know people who watch Actoroke and they love all the role playing and everything, but they're just like they're glued to Tanil's hand drawing the characters. And of course, she's her worst enemy in that every piece of art has to be better than the last. So if you look at series 1, she's like, "Oh, Steve, it's just going to be really quick and it's going to be sort of chalk outlines." I'm like, "Great, I'll take whatever you give us."
Mhm.
Look behind me. Does that look like a chalk outline? No. Like, I'm like, okay. She's like, at first she was like, I go, "It's okay if it's black and white. We can do our sepia tone. We don't have to do color." She's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can do that. And then I get a full color and then everything's full color. And then it's like, oh, by the way, this is really ultra widescreen. So you can do like a pan and scan and you can do parallaxing and you can do,
Man,
okay.
talent.
So anyway, you're 100% right, and I think one of the things it's great is I love seeing all the characters come to life. I don't know. You tell me what you think when you see Tanil do you as your character.
Yeah. Well, every single time I see anything that Tanil has made, I'm like, okay, where's me? Where's me? Because I want to see my character. But like, I noticed that anytime that my character is in any of Tanil's drawings, it's always, oh, Agi's being eaten by a T-Rex, or oh, Agi is about to die to a lava monster and he's being saved again. Or like a big group shot. We're all in a big, like a cuddle pile or whatever. But I think the real magic is just seeing what Tanil can do in such a short amount of time and live with everybody watching. Like the amount of skill that it takes to do something like that. Like, yeah.
Well, it does take skill. I mean, the thing is there are a lot of people who can illustrate. I've used to work at Wizards and and art directed projects, and not every artist is created equal in the way and how fast they can actually produce art.
Yeah.
Like some guys can turn it over real fast. And other people, like, they give you brilliant piece of, world-class art, but it takes them a month or 3 months, same thing with writing. Like trust me, there are people who are much better writers than I am, but I ask them to write something and they'll go, I'll have you a draft in July. It's like, okay, well, I got to have it done tomorrow. So I'm just going to do it myself. Yeah. You could write better than I can, but I'm turning it over in 3 days. So everything we do, I mean, Peter will say the same thing. It's like, I'm editing, right? There are people who are better editors than me, but they're not going to do it in 3 days. So anyway, I guess being part of our team is you got to be able to do whatever you're doing. You got to do it fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a recurring theme with Actoroke is you better do it fast.
Well, it is like you're standing on top of a log and you're trying to roll it down the hill, and you're just trying to stay on, and you stay on the entire time. That's so far been my experience with Actoroke, where it's
I think of that.
Go ahead, please go ahead.
That wheel going down the hill in like Pirates of the Caribbean that they're fighting on, right?
Oh yeah.
Like that's what it feels like. You're right. Don't fall off. The other nice thing that Tanil does, and she wants to redo it again in series 3, she requested. So in their first episode of series 1, Peter goes, Tanil, illustrate me a monster right now. I don't know what it is. And when I see what you're illustrating, I will make up stats on it on the fly.
Whoa.
And that's what the Tunnel Terror came from.
Oh, that's so cool.
So if you go on our website, we actually have the full stats. You can take it home and put in your homebrew campaign. Anyway, the Tunnel Terror, she literally illustrated it on the fly. He had no idea what it was. He was looking at it going, that looks like it has pincers. And he wrote like stats live, and it was beating down the PCs at the same time with it.
That's awesome.
And that's also Actoroke. So when we were working on series 3, preparing what we're going to do, she goes, can I do that again? I just want to illustrate something and have the DM look at it and make up stats right now, and then beat the PCs with it. So you'll probably see that again. That's going to be an Actoroke thing as well.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The Tunnel Terror was one of my. I'm trying to pull up a link for it so I can show anyone who chat and wants to see it. But it is one of my favorite things that I got to see her draw live, and then to see the life it took on of its own. Like, it is horrifying. I'm going to drop the link in chat right now for anyone who is here.
So I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler alert here. so in series 1, they killed this tunnel terror, and it was sort of like the alien queen, where it had laid eggs everywhere.
No.
And so the PCs took all these eggs back to town and sold them. And there was this really funny bit. You can watch it. We actually filmed it, where they negotiate with a vendor and they sell the eggs, and they misguide. They don't tell them they're actually tunnel terror eggs. Anyway, well, those eggs end up hatching. So in the adventure tomorrow at GaryCon, the Black Cat and the Hessen, a bunch of tunnel terror juveniles are going to attack the town.
Ooh, I hope
I
nobody
just give away something.
Vesten's good watching.
No. This is a sneak peek. This is a sneak peek.
So Tanel is actually going to illustrate a bunch of. We had to tell Tanel's in the setup. I go, listen, the tunnel terror you illustrated is the mother, the queen mother.
Mama
These
terror.
ones are like the juveniles. They're like the size of a dog. She's like, oh, okay, because I didn't want like these Titanic things running through the town.
Yeah.
You destroy our city, and then we'll have to rebuild it. Since all of our Actoroke adventures take place in this town, we can't actually nuke it, So anyway, yeah. So tunnel terrors, beware. They're showing up tomorrow at 8 a.m.
I have
on GaryCon Live. Okay, go ahead,
I have a quick question. I might be a little confused on this. So I'm looking, and the tunnel terror appears in an episode called "Where's Armando?" Was Armando a character in the first series that's returning in the third? Wow.
Yeah. So Gabriel,
or sorry, in the Slam.
Yes.
Yeah. So Gabriel created Armando in series 1, and he's a druid. Not a druid. He's a bard.
Bard, yeah.
And so that's who he's playing. Tomorrow at GaryCon as well. And the funny thing is, where's Armando? That was super funny because
I was just gonna say,
you're mentioning in series 1, we did everything via Zoom. Well, sadly, Gabriel had serious technical difficulties in that episode.
Yeah, I was on the phone
Zoom
with him.
link kept he'd freeze. And somebody goes, oh my God, where's Armando? And well, the adventure had to go on. We couldn't stop, right? We can't just we're not at home going, okay, we're going to go get some Coke and Doritos and then, get him back. No. So that actually, everything that happens in that adventure goes into the adventure. And so there's this funny bit where he's not in the adventure and everybody's asking, where's Armando? Because he's frozen in Zoomland, somewhere.
I remember we had to do some pickup of him on a horse because the horse had rode off or something, I believe. So there's footage. If you go to the World of Chaldea YouTube, you can see some very fun footage of the early Actoroke stuff.
Rennie Arukto was the actor who played Armando, and I said to him, I just want you to act like you're galloping this horse.
It was hilarious to watch this over Zoom.
My Lord, it was the best part of the episode. And so the whole scene, through the whole thing, you just see him in the background going.
And I gotta tell you,
Where's Armando going?
The best part about that, because I was on the production side of it for the first episode of Actoroke when we were having the troubles, when Armando was having the troubles, and sorry, we I just lost my train of thought. I'm gonna pass it back over to Steve. My train of thought just zoomed by.
Oh no!
Okay, so the very first time, our first episode of Actoroke on Twitch TV, we're all like, okay, we've never done this before, first time ever. None of us have a clue what's going to happen. That's another thing that we say. We don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to go. And that night happened to be the night where the Twitch went down.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
And we're like, what are we doing wrong? And then we end up finding, it's posted, someone Google searches or whatever. It's like, oh no, Twitch is down. Oh my goodness. It's
wow.
As if this is not hard enough. It's
I think it was the second week we lost Armando. That is so I remember what I was going to say it was about the Rennie writing thing. That was I think one of the first or second actor sessions of the actor studio where we're sitting and directing, and I believe that was the longest one at that point, 5 hours, and at the end of it we're just just ride the horse thing. So everyone just it's 10 11 o'clock at night, we're just sitting there watching, and just everyone who's left in the call is laughing. It was such a joyous, wonderful thing. So if you had a chance, go back and look at that Rennie clip. It's hilarious.
Well, okay, by the way, Rennie is going to follow in the footsteps of Javion, because Rennie was an actor in series 1, and he's going to be a player in series 3.
Ooh.
Is he going to be playing his character?
He's not playing that character. He's going to play a new character. But what was funny about that is Gabriel. Anybody who knows Gabriel is like he's actually a professional singer, theatrical singer, and he's probably going to slap me, but I don't know exactly what he did, but I know he was in theater and opera and a bunch of crazy stuff. Well, what he does is, since he's playing a bard, he actually writes lyrics, and when he casts a spell during the game, he sings it.
Wow.
Like he doesn't just go, I'm casting X spell, I'm doing, Y damage. He sings it like original lyrics. And so then, and that's fine if you're playing a home role-playing game, but here's Steve, the writer, going, what? And I'm like, I'm emailing him, can you send me those lyrics? And like he would email me the lyrics, and so then I would put them in the script, and then Rennie would get it as a script going, do I have to sing this? Yeah, dude, you gotta sing it.
That's awesome. I'm a DM. I wish my players had any level of dedication like Remy does. That's awesome.
Well, we're pretty lucky so far with the Actoroke, and something's happening that we hoped would happen is with every Actoroke event that we do, people look at what other people have done. Like you were looking at what Daryl Judd, how he was dressed, right? Well, the next person comes along and goes, well, okay, that guy just upped the level of everything. I'm going to bring up the next level, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we're really hoping people do is they up their game, So, well, we've been talking for 45 minutes now, and I'm sure at some point we're just going to be talking about movies we like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy to do, by the way, because I can talk about movies forever. But so Javion, I think we're going to need to get you in a slam event at some point.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely not busy enough. I can definitely take on more on my plate.
Let's make you more busy. Let's do that.
Yeah. Good.
Well, we're going to be doing more conventions, I'm sure. Peter loves it. So Peter loves conventions. That's a shock, right, people? And he loves Actoroke. He's now absolutely like a pig in mud.
Let me get my censorship, but let me get my bleep. Hold on.
With Gen Con TV, like he's just absolutely loving the Gen Con TV thing. So now he's marrying up Actoroke with Gen Con TV and going to a convention, and he gets to. And of course, he always says his favorite time is when he's actually directing actors. So, I mean, talk about living a charmed life. So this is not going to end. He's going to be, oh, by the way, I've already signed up 3 other conventions,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Actoroke cycle never ends. It's so I'd imagine, as especially now that things are getting opening up, things are getting a little bit safer. Like, I am so excited to see how this Actoroke Slam event, because is this the first one we're actually doing with the character sheets and the new engine?
No. We did that at the Gamehole Con.
The same thing. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Satine Phoenix ran the game at Gen Con last year, and they ran it in the Red Opera. That was their game, and which was fine. My dream is that I'd love to see somebody come up and go, guys, we want to do Actoroke, but I want to do it as Star Wars. I want to do a Marvel. I want to do, name your favorite, vampire game.
I would love that.
Peter and I would always dream, like, wouldn't it be cool if somebody else would step up? It's like we could just like help them out, but they could run their own Actoroke in whatever genre they want to do.
Yeah.
That's a hint to anybody out there who wants to do it. I mean, we'd love to see that. Good luck finding somebody to write a script in 3 days, but outside of that, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can only write 1 script a week. Anyway, so Javion, back to you. So I'm sure I'm sure you could twist an arm and get you at a convention somewhere, and we'll do a slam event with you in there.
That'd be great. And you might actually see me at Gen Con this year doing what I did last year, which is doing the kickoff show and the send-off show, if everything goes well and we don't have any new variants to deal with. But yeah, I would love to do a slam event. I really wish I was there at Gary Con right now. It'd be really cool to see some of the people that I didn't get to meet in my tenure as an NPC.
Oh, well, it's funny. Last year, everybody, apparently a bunch of the season 1 people all showed up at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd never
costume.
met, right? And how cool was it that, unrelated to Actoroke, these guys just all get together and go out and hit it off and have beers, and they're all having a good time. I'm seeing photographs of actors and role players together, meeting for the first time, and going, that's cool. A whole nother level. Of course, that's conventions, that's gaming. People love to get together like that. I don't know what Peter's doing at Gen Con this year. He hasn't told me.
It's a secret. It's
or
a
I'm sure I'd like to
surprise.
think it.
It's going to be something really exciting and very busy.
Well, we'll be in the middle of Series 3. I don't know if we can cram in. Maybe we'll be able to cram in a slam event at Gen Con.
I feel like we'll find a way to do more work.
Somehow I think Peter will do it. Last year I went to Gen Con and wrote, and the funny thing is I told people, of course, being friends with Peter, I get a badge as part of being in Peter's posse. I never used it because I never left my room.
Oh.
Because I was writing the whole time. I did, though. Peter corrects me. On the last day, Sunday, I ventured out into one of the halls to watch the film live. Anyway, so
well, for me, that was my first Gen Con, and let me just say, even though there was a whole thing going on, and there was a lot of people who couldn't showcase their stuff this time around, it was magic to me. Like, I can't believe I missed it so many times before. Like, for me, I usually go to the Penny Arcade Expo in Seattle where I live, but I never dreamed of seeing all of the huge exhibits and all the demos for Gen Con, and doing an Actoroke through all of that and having to miss some of that stuff. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I really wish you could have experienced it the way I did.
I worked at Wizards, and I worked in conventions for a while, and I think I did Gen Con 15 straight years. And obviously with Peter, I still go, and so I have seen Gen Con a lot. So I mean, it is, you don't want to miss things, but I mean, I've seen it a lot, and I do get out, at night and go to a bar and have dinner with friends and whatnot.
Right.
My son went for the first time ever. He's 29. I finally got him to go.
Oh, wow.
So he was there. So he was actually venturing into the halls for the first time without me. He was reporting back, bringing back all his goodies and whatnot. And I actually drove there, which is really crazy. So he loaded up my car to drive everything back. My family lives an hour north of Indianapolis. So I decided to drive out there and visit them and then go to the con. Because I was doing some of the writing actually from my sister's house, because I had to watch the RPG and just write.
Well, I was like, yeah, you would have to. Not a lot of time.
I wish there was an AI that would just take the script and just convert, the RPG notes and just convert it into a script.
Oh, man, yeah.
That
you could probably really do that.
It might come out weird, but I think we can try it. Actoroke, all AI.
AI is kind of normal, I think.
There's this thing called Otter AI, which will take an audio file and it'll listen and convert it to text. By the way, Javion, that's one of the things I do to your games.
Really?
Is that right after the game's over, we convert your RPG session into an Otter text file. And the really cool is on the Otter site, it's the text goes down. It's like following the bouncing ball. So it literally follows the words. And then I actually hear you guys' role playing as I'm looking at the text. And then I'm cutting out the bits, like you'll say something funny and I'm like, I'm keeping that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Right. I used
to. Do you want me to send you a couple of inspirational quotes?
I always say that. I say, please. By the way, I don't know if you noticed. Oh, you don't know. At the end of this last adventure, you said, do you remember what you said about the name of this adventure?
Remind me. I know. I remember vaguely. Just remind me.
You said the name of this adventure should be Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes. I remember that very vividly.
Insight. So one of the NPCs in this last episode in Actoroke, the character's name is Dukes. And it's sort of like, if you ever see, what's that Van Damme movie, Bloodsport. That guy's name was Dukes too, but it's actually DUX. So anyway, he's Dukes of Hazzard. So we actually went with it. If you take a look at this week's episode, it'll in the film, it's called Dukes of Hazzard. So there you go. I do listen to the stuff that you guys say. But yes, if you send me an email, go, I really love this joke. You got to get that in there, of course.
Oh, okay, good. I will remember that for the final episode.
Just in time.
Yeah.
Just as a sort of there was a fun. Stefan Picorni is one of our players with Javion, and he did a bathroom humor joke that got
That's saying it lightly.
elongated, pardon the pun. And Sarah looked at me and goes, "Sorry, Steve." They say that because I have to convert the adventure into a script. And so I just embrace the Beavis and Butthead toilet humor and beware. I feel bad for the actor.
I know. I was gonna say
That's
that.
that's definitely. I was reading through it. I'm like, this is gonna be a fun acting session. I believe
it really will be fun. I cannot wait to see. I cannot wait. All righty, guys. We're probably wasting way too much time. I enjoy working with you guys immensely. I have to tell you, it's just so much fun. I mean, this is so much fun. It shouldn't be legal, right? And
right.
I used to work at big Microsoft and big game studios, and that's fun. But this is better. I just like it so much better. So you guys it's a pleasure. We're obviously, Markus, you and I are going to be doing this for a while until we're old and die. I think Peter always says we're going to keep doing this until we're dead. I mean, my wife goes, "You're never going to retire, are you?" I'm like, no.
No.
So, and then of course I'm Javion. You're here for life, especially since we're, the Gen Con TV.
You're a pillar.
Yeah,
I'm one of the pillars apparently.
Yeah, you're one of the pillars of Actoroke. So be careful what you wish for. That's another thing I tell people. Once Peter likes you, you can't. He won't let you escape.
Okay, good. So
it's true. It's absolutely true. If he loves you, you're done.
Be available for Peter to call on me at a moment. Peter or Markus to call on me at a moment's notice is going to pay off. Okay, good.
All righty. Hey, you got any parting words there, Javion?
Yeah. For some of you folks, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at JAV Smith. You can also find me once again on twitch.tv/GenCon TV. That's where you are right now. Every Friday at 2 p.m. For Table Takes, our board game talk show with Peter Atkinson. And you can also find me on the final episode of Actoroke coming up. I believe that's in 4 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, coming up on Wednesday, where we're going to do our last episode of Actoroke for the roleplay session. Of course, we're still going to have the actors and everybody do the movie afterwards.
And Markus?
Hi, my name is Markus. You could follow me at Best Kinda Worst on Twitter. I am just happy to be a part of this with these cool people making something really cool. It is a whirlwind of excitement, but it is just it's so worth it to get to work with all these cool people. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, I like working with you too. I'm not on social media. One of the challenges I have is that I'm a 0 or 1. I'm either totally on and you can't turn me off, or I'm off. And if I got into social media, I know I'd love it, and then I'd never come out of that rabbit hole ever. And I just know how I am. If I need to write, I need to write. So you won't find me on social media, but you can get a hold of me. You can see my email. It's on our website, worldofchaldea.com or actoroke.com. Kind of takes you to the same place. And I'm really good on email, so I'll be happy to email you. So anyway, back to Gary Con and our Slam event. The Black Cat and the Hessen, which is our Actoroke event that's going on, starts tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And then through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday as well. So we really hope to see you there. And next Wednesday, we will be back with the Actor Studio, or the table read, where our actors will get to read the toilet humor episode, Dukes of Hazzard.
More like Dookie.
You really gotta, I'm telling you. Actually, so the table read is the actors will read it for the first time at the table. It'll be too much fun to watch them read what comes off the page.
It's exciting. That is exciting.
Make sure you're there to see that. And then of course the actors will then get to act it out, and then you get to see it for real in the movie the following week. So lots of Actoroke. If you're a fan of Actoroke, you want to get involved, want to follow us, please do. All right, guys. Thank you very much. See you online.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me, Markus.
No worries. My pleasure.
Thanks, Steve.
Goodbye, everybody. See you at GaryCon.